Today I'd like to speak about sacred geometry of healing. I've been healer for 20 years. I work with energy, and I see consciousness in the body, and I see physical body as a pool of energy. And as you probably already know, this third dimension is a projection of the sacred geometry of the sixth dimension, which is angelic realms. So you can see the sacred geometry of the sixth dimension in our world, in flowers, in shells. You know how sunflower has this flower of life design. You can see that design. So what happens when we get sick or distorted? When we get ill, our sacred geometry distorts from the perfection of God.
That's interesting.
Think about that. And people call it devil.
Right.
And they blame devil and demonic forces for all the suffering, because disease causes suffering. Physical disease, mental disease, emotional disease. However, I invite you, my friends, to look at the distortion, at the disease, and at the so-called demonic forces as your teachers. Because without this distortion, you will not have experience. Without experience, you will not have evolution. And without evolution, everything stays still. The whole purpose of this material world is God wanting to know what it is. So it's a playground of God, and we are people, as all other creatures, including every ant, every little piece of grass. We're all the projection of the consciousness of what we call God, the source energy. And so through distortions and suffering, so don't look at suffering or diseases as suffering, even though it's painful. Look at it as an experience. And when you step up to a higher perspective, you can then simply observe and learn the lesson, and therefore evolve. However, if we're being in self-pity, if we are lashing out of the world, blaming everybody else who we think can cause us a disease, it can be a partner, it can be the weather, it can be government, it can be your parents. We're blaming, oh, they taught us all these wrong things and now we suffer. Yeah. Now I'm poor because they have poverty mentality.
Sure. It's everybody but
themselves. But being grateful for the experience is the key to the evolution. And now that this earth is transferring from third density, ego-based mind, to the heart, now it's so much easier to see the oneness, to see the lessons being a lessons, instead of the world is attacking me and I'm under attack and the world is not a safe place. Those limiting beliefs will keep you in the cage of fear forever. Now, fear is one of the biggest distortions, because it creates congestion in the physical body. It creates inflammation, an array of, I think every disease is a form of either fear or resentment. These two emotions, fear being the dominant one for sure. And so once you step into the gratitude for the experience, you feel gratitude, not fear. And gratitude is expansion. It's basically love. So you're stepping up from the third density of ego-based, blaming everybody, to being grateful for the experience. And that's how you heal. And healing doesn't mean that your sacred geometry will be always perfect and stay perfect forever. That defies the whole purpose of creation.
Right.
The creation is for evolution and for experience. And so know that as soon as you establish a perfect harmony, as soon as you heal some part of yourself, something else will emerge from the infinity of possibilities, because we're infinite people, we're infinite beings. God is an infinity. And so you will have another lesson, and it's not that God gives you this, it's a request of your soul. Because as a soul, you want to evolve. Evolution is the biggest desire of soul. Souls are created for that purpose. You know, the whole oneness of consciousness, and then the little separation, and then you evolve as a separate soul, which has completely unique experience, completely different color, completely different scent. Like the scent you gave me today.
Yes.
The passion, oh my God, I've never smelled that scent before in my life. It's something new. So experience. By the way, I highly recommend your oils. They're so magical. I love it. That is a high vibration medicine for sure.
For sure.
Thank
Holistically.
You. Very, very beautiful. Yeah, I use them. I use them too. I love them. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And so it will be another experience, and just enjoy getting out of whack for the purpose of then be curious about it. When you're out of whack, something is really distorted in your either body or relationships or whatever it is in your life. Look at it as a quest. Look at it with the curiosity of a child or curiosity of a scientist who wants to solve the problem. And then all of a sudden, it's like solving a puzzle, and you solve the puzzle, and the process of solving the puzzle to get back to this beautiful harmony, it feels amazing. And once you're back in and you resolved it, you feel like, oh my God, I did it. It's like you win again. So basically it's a game, it's a lila. In Vedas, they call it lila, the divine play, or the divine game, or the divine foreplay with God. It's like, it also can be very erotic. It's filled with love. It's meaning of Tantra, actually. Look at this iguana looking so cute.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So enjoy the process of life instead of being the victim. And that is the biggest message that I tell my clients all the time. Because if you're stuck in misery, you can get stuck in that misery for decades,
yes,
or for all your life. And many of our parents, grandparents, they didn't know yet. Now we're waking up faster. Humanity wakes up much faster. I see people becoming more and more aware of everything. Yeah. And so it's easier now. But if you still sort of like a zombie of the Matrix, you know, you will suffer without knowing how to solve the puzzle, how to come back to your perfect sacred geometry for life, you know? So it can, you know, it's sad. You can move much faster and have much more beautiful life.
And a better experience.
And a better experience, yeah.
You know, instead of seeing life as it's going against
like a punishment.
Like a punishment, right?
Yeah.
And instead you say, well, this is happening for me so I can grow, rather than it's happening to me, I'm a victim.
Exactly.
So it's a learning process. I feel that, you know, most people, especially right now, because there's a fast awakening happening, the curiosity in people are coming to play, and it's like they're wanting to know, what is healing, how do I, you know, feel things, and really go inward and see the mirror within other people, and not pointing the finger out, rather than seeing people as tools to help you evolve, so that way you can go internal and say, wow, well, this is my behavior.
Exactly.
This is no longer working for me. So now I have to change. But now some people don't see themselves in others. They see outside.
Just others.
Right.
Being mean and being bad.
Yeah.
So seeing others as mirrors. And I have several courses on my website. One is called You the Creator. It's how you create your reality, and it's a tool which helps you to see people as mirrors. And it's very useful. You basically practice on paper. It's very, very tactile.
Yes.
When you write the behavior and you in others that you don't like, and then you can say, oh, and then see yourself in this in that patterns in yourself, and then say, oh, that was a mirror, and that was a mirror, and then, okay, now how do I shift to shift the whole situation? You know, if your husband is mean to you, maybe you're mean to yourself, and maybe you need to learn how to love yourself, and that is the lesson. Yet people stuck blaming, divorcing, and that is so counterproductive. I mean, life is short, guys. This playground is for a little bit of limited time. So juice it, take complete advantage, use every moment to experience, to feel, to evolve, to really get into this game. Instead of lots of spiritual traditions, they take you out of it. They say, oh, this is misery, this is, you know, we need to escape from here, the physical world is a burden for the soul. Oh, what a big mistake. And then they go somewhere and sit in a mountain far away and then just pray, try to kill their ego, which is given to you as such a gift, because you can see yourself as separate from others, and therefore you can have experience with others. Because having experience with yourself, it can get really boring. Really. Yeah. But we have other selves to have the experience. And now, wow, the possibilities, the array of feelings, all the triggers coming your way. I mean, isn't it a juicy game? Who the hell will get out of it? This is good.
So life is boring now.
Yeah, as long as you see it as a game, and as long as you understand what's really going on, then you take it much lightly, and you really, with the right tools, which you can find on my website. It's called templeofoneinfinitecreator.com. You can find the tools, video courses.
And I'll also put the link on the bottom of this podcast, so people can actually look into it. So if you guys are interested, please make sure you follow links, and it will get you there. So.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
And so, if you need consultation, if you need time to shift, to help you to change your vision for a better perspective, you can book a session with me, either in person or online. I can do Zoom sessions where we go for different techniques and methods of how to shift from the third density to the fourth and start understanding that this is a mirror. Not understanding, but it's a technology, spiritual technology of using this world as a mirror. And there's specific techniques that will help you to do that. Because knowing that is one thing, because somebody triggers you and you forget like that.
Right.
But once you practice it on paper, those methods, and they're simple, but they're powerful. You will be able to remember right in the moment. Okay, mirror, click, rewrite, and see how person shifts right in front of you.
Yeah, and that's how the expansion will proceed.
And
that's how the shift will occur.
Yes.
And it's another word for that, which is shadow work. So shadow work is very powerful, because you're seeing things in a different view of yourself. And the hardest part to actually evolve is actually seeing yourself in everything, and in that creation of chaos and then creation of peace. And so it's like doing the shadow work is so important. I feel that when you do that, and of course with the correct tools and the correct practitioners and the people that are actually involved in this spirituality to help it's a great way to, you know, give the understanding of people that are not willing to know exactly what's happening. You know,
yeah, it's just easy with a guide.
Yeah, it's like a guidance. It's like a teaching. It's like a school where, you know, you're, you know, taking a chance to learning things. And but yeah, this is a great opportunity, I think, for a lot of people, especially now, because a lot of people are awakening to this greater good. And as we heal the people before us, and we heal the people in front of us. And I think that this is the legacy that we're trying to leave, you know, in this humanity. So,
namaste. That's the truth. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's beautiful. Thank you, my friend. Oops. Oh, here we go. Thank you, my friends, for joining this little podcast. It was wonderful. I was here with Crystal.
And thank you so much for joining my podcast. Yeah. I mean, I think this is a great tool, if anything.
It is. Good reminder.
Yes.
Good reminder.
So thank you again for joining today as being a special guest in my podcast. And more to come, you know, because we have, you know, many that's involving in this practice. So.
Oh, lots of different tools I can share, for sure.
For sure. But thank
Namaste.
you guys. So again, my name is Crystal. I am your host.